Hello everyone, welcome back to Wandering Roots. This is Sydney. So today I am just going through my plants and doing some maintenance on them. I am trying to hand pollinate my cucumbers because I haven't seen a lot of bees. So I got my little handy paintbrush right here. So I'm just trying to go through and hand pollinate all the little flowers that I see right now on my cucumber plant. I do see a few females, so I see one good one and I'm trying to pollinate all of the other flowers through that one flower. So we will see if it works. Hopefully it does, so I can have some really yummy cucumbers this year. I haven't seen a lot of bees on my porch. Now I am trying to grow my borage to try to bring in some of the pollinators, but I really just haven't seen a whole lot here. So hand pollination it is. And as you can see, my cucumber is actually getting really tall. It's getting almost to the top of the trellis that I bought for it. It's not a very tall trellis, so it's not a really good representation of just how tall a cucumber can climb, but it's all I got for now, so it's all I can find at the store. One of the things that I just wanted to take you guys along with me for was I read that in order to get your peppers to produce more like peppers for you later on in the year is that when it produces its first few peppers to actually pluck them off, like the first few buds, to try to boost the productivity. From what I was reading, what it does is it takes the plant's energy and puts it back into growing more leaves and getting deeper roots versus just trying to put all of its energy into those few like beginner pepper plants that are trying to form. So that's what I'm going to go through today and do, is I'm going to do that to my peppers that I got, and as sad as it is, I think I'm going to also do it to the few tomatoes that I've also seen, the few tomato flowers that I've seen, just because I'm hoping that with me doing this, it boosts productivity later on. It's gonna suck to do because I'm so excited to see all of the flowers, but I think for the better interest of the plant, this is my course of action, is to just go through and prune up the bases so that I'm not bringing bacteria on my plants and trying to pinch off all the flowers that I see that are trying to create fruit. So as much as it sucks, it's what I'm doing today, and I thought I'd take you along with me. So my mint plant that took a tumble down our stairs the other day is actually doing amazing. I'm so happy. I was so scared that, I know it wasn't his fault, but I was so scared that our neighbor accidentally damaged it, which accidents happen, it's really no big deal, but I was just nursing it back to health from all the parasite escapade, so I'm really glad to see that it is making a comeback. I'm actually looking at it right now and it looks beautiful. I'll have to show you here in a little bit how good it looks. So the weather here has been so hot the last few days. It's been storming and we've been getting lots of hail, like golf ball sized hail, and it's been like 96 degrees on a good day. Every single day it's been consistently like 90s. Yesterday and this morning it was pretty chilly. It was down to like 68, but for the most part it's been in the high 90s and my plants are loving it. A whole bunch of them are just shooting up and growing super big and tall, and it's really nice to see that all my hard work is going into producing fruit, hopefully, but like going into the energy of the plant growing. It's relieving to see. One of the things that I'm extremely thankful for in regards to having this garden, even though I'm trying to do like the urban garden, having it is, it's been such a stress reliever. I just get to come home, sit in my chair, and I just look out at my plants and look out. My plants aren't very far away from me, but I look out at my plants and it's so comforting just to hear like crickets and look at where my hard work is going, like what it's going into, and just being like the peacefulness of working on my tomatoes and then walking away and my hands smell like tomatoes. So there's just something super special about having it as a de-stressor, and it's something that I'm extremely thankful for, that I have this opportunity to have all these plants and to have this sense of peace. So it's just been my outlet recently, and I've really been enjoying my outlet, just coming out here and feeling the breeze and being with my plants. So here's the first pepper plant. I'm gonna go through and pick up a pod. This is one of my kohlrabi plants. I know that it is, even though the rain has washed off my marker. I know that it's one of my kohlrabis just because of the way that it looks compared to all my other ones that I planted. And I know that I planted it in this planter. It was one of my leftover kohlrabi plants, so this is where it went. So I'm gonna do is just go through this poor little pepper. I'm just gonna pluck it off. So there it goes. I got the little pepper in my hand, and it's not gonna grow, but hopefully later on this year, this really pretty pepper plant will produce me some delicious peppers from kohlrabis. So I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry if I'm not, if I'm butchering the name, but this is my kohlrabi plant. So this right here is my cayenne plant. As you can see, it is doing really well. It has this little guy right here. I don't know if you can see him, but he's doing super good. Got a little pepper pod. So I'm gonna go through, I'm just gonna go through and pick these off. This one has quite a few because I want it to put more energy into growing. So there's one. Here is gently two. Oh, I missed a bit of it. Two. And then I actually have one up here. And one over here. So I have a whole handful of them. I've been slacking. This is the one that by far looks the best. This cayenne looks the best, but I'm just plucking it off for now so it can grow me more later. Hopefully I'm not messing this up. It's my first year growing peppers, so I'm just giving it my best go. I am, however, gonna go through with some scissors and I'm gonna clean these up so that it looks a little bit better and maybe it will help it actually produce more. So I'm just gonna go through. Be careful of the growth that it has in there. I'm just trying to cut off the parts that had the pepper. And if you see, it already has some more in here. In each part of the Y that you can see here, there's pepper more up here and up here. So hopefully with me doing this, it helps those grow more and to become a lot more fruitful. So overall, this is a very good looking cayenne, I think. I put a lot of hard work into it and it's doing really well. I'm really proud of it. So I may have been mispronouncing the name of this. It's a kohlrabi. I can finally read one of my labels. Kohlrabi pepper. So this one I wanted to actually highlight because as you can see, it has some pretty severe damage to a lot of the leaves. There's some right here. This one got almost all the way eaten. This one back here has some damage. This one has some damage. This one has damage, which I think it's from hail out here. Unfortunately, this plant came into contact with like a caterpillar that was, I'm pretty sure, was from all the moths that we've been having here in South Dakota. So unfortunately, this pepper, it got pretty severely damaged. So it's not growing super great because of the damage that it's been encountering from all the gosh dang caterpillars out here. But I have hope for it. It might not produce like a whole bunch this year, but it's trying really hard. And that's all I can really credit it for, is that it's given its best go. I finally found the worm that was mowing down on this. I was looking for it for like 3 or 4 days because we noticed, my husband and I noticed that this thing was taking some damage. So I was looking for it and I finally noticed it, and I want to say I saw it on this leaf actually. It was chilling right up in here and it was just munching right in here, and I made my husband pick it off and we tossed it out in the yard. I didn't have the heart in me to kill it, but I also didn't want it on my pepper, so we just put it out in the yard. So hopefully we don't see any more of those guys because he really damaged this poor pepper. So hopefully for the future, we no longer see any of those icky caterpillars. But yeah, this is my kobashi pepper. So, not kohlrabi, kobashi. This is my cucumber. It's doing super good. As you can see, it has lots of flowers. It's trying its best to survive. One of my females, it's right there. You can see it. Maybe the glare. You can see it. Females, I was taught, have this little like pod underneath it, kind of like a baby cucumber, and the males don't. So the male one would just look like that, just like a regular pretty flower, and the females look like that, with like the baby cucumber on the bottom. So what I was doing earlier is I was going through and I was trying to hand pollinate these with a paintbrush. Now I know it's not the best method of madness for trying to pollinate your plants, but it's the only thing I really got right now, because I was hand pollinating because I haven't seen any bees on these. I haven't seen any bees at all on any of these flowers that I have in here. So I don't know what it is with the pollinators, but they're just not having it. So I'm just trying to get as good of a production as I can. So I went through and I hand pollinated all of them. And I do have these little ones over here. And I know that it's not ideal to have them all together like this, but I honestly didn't expect them all to grow when I tried to start seeds. And I was obviously proven wrong. They obviously all decided that they liked to live versus to not germinate. So this is where I'm at right now. I have too many. So I'm just gonna see what happens, because the worst thing that could happen is that they just don't grow very well. Like, I'm not gonna learn anything if I don't try. And I know, like, it's best for them to each probably have their own pot, because those three over there are gonna each probably hopefully get as big as this, and it's just gonna be a lot. But you know, we're gonna see. Maybe I can try to trellis it up back here and just move my husband's cigarette dish that I have going on over there. But for now, this is what I got going on in regards to my pretty cucumbers. It's almost to the top. Granted, this is not a very tall trellis that I have for them, but it's almost to the top. I painted this one like back a few weeks ago when the virus first started, because I wanted to do something artistic, and I put so much detail into the one on the right that I was so tired I didn't feel like doing anything to the one on the left. So just art on the one on the right, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, because I think it complements my cucumbers really well. And then over here I have my green beans. I painted this rock actually, but I didn't use like weather safe paint or something, I think is what it is. So it's kind of like starting to flake off a little, but it is what it is. That's what I got. I did one for my borage plant too, and so far that's what they both kind of look like. But so this is my green bean plant. It looks sad as heck. It is not surviving. It's alive, kind of. I need to probably clip this because it's definitely dead. It just looks super pathetic. I don't really know why, but it just hasn't survived. I only got this one right here, and this is all I'm probably gonna get from this green bean plant, which is gonna be sad, but I bet you this is gonna be the best one green bean I've ever had in my whole life. So here is my sunflower, my one and only sunflower. It's kind of quite tall. I gave it a stick, a bamboo stick, to prop itself up on, only for the simple fact that the wind here gets so terrible that I'm afraid it honestly will blow over. Being in the container that it's in and not actually in the ground, I'm super concerned. So it has a stick. It's looking really good actually. Right now it's looking super beautiful. The top of it shows some growth. I don't know if that's it actually set ahead being this teeny tiny, but if it did, that'd be actually kind of cool. But I'd be very surprised, and I honestly wouldn't know what to do, because that would be very unexpected just because of how tiny and sad it looks. But I don't know if it only looks like that because I'm trying to grow a sunflower in a container that's maybe 12 inches. So hopefully I'm pleasantly surprised and I actually get some seeds from this, because that'd be cool. I don't know if I'll eat them, I would really love to try to dry them out and eat them, but I guess we'll see what happens with this specific sunflower. So these are my tomatoes. They are the Goliath F1. I have these two right here, and then I also have those two in this second container right here are also the same thing. So these two containers are the same thing. I spread them out because they are supposed to get big, and I didn't want to overcrowd them, so I have them separated for obvious reasons. So as you can see though, it is putting off, oh, it's putting off some of those flowers right there. You can see them. So as sad as it is, those are what I'm about to go through and try to remove. It's gonna be extremely sad for me to do, but I'm hoping that with doing this, it puts the energy into the root system and it grows bigger. I've been told that by not taking them off, you can actually stunt the growth of your tomato plant because it's putting all of its energy into the fruit versus trying to grow big and tall. And I've been told that this specific tomato is supposed to get bigger than how tall it is right now. And then what I'm also gonna do that I've been kind of neglecting to do is I'm probably gonna take off quite a few of these lower branches down here just to try to prevent disease, because as you can see, this like leaf over here is looking really sad. It's not like touching the dirt, but I don't want anything to splash up and potentially contaminate the rest of my tomato plants. Just because I'm putting so much work into them, I really don't want them to get sick and, you know, die or give me contaminated tomatoes. I've been told that you can get blight from like the splashback on the bottom, and I'm just trying to prevent future like disease. So that's what I'm gonna do today, and I'm doing that with each and all of my tomatoes. And that one down there is a cherry tomato. It is, let's see, I can find the sign. So this one is my black pineapple, which is these ones over here. All of these. These are my cherry tomatoes, the black pineapple. As you can see, 3 of them are doing fantastic. This one over here is kind of struggling, but this one, I don't know what happened to it, but this one's gonna get pulled today. I'm pulling this one right out because it's obviously dying and I don't want it to make the other ones like get them sick or anything. So this one over here is already struggling. The last thing I need is for the other 2 to also take a hit and potentially get sick and die. I didn't want them all to die. So there was my first pruning of blossoms. I'm super sad about it, but you know, I'm confident that it will help my tomatoes to get bigger later on in the season. So that was super sad. That was really sad. I just pulled out the dead looking one. It looked super sad, and if you can see, like right at the bottom, I don't know if you can really see, it looked really kind of sick, but it also looked like it was trying to grow better roots. I don't know what was wrong with it. It just, as you can see, it was just dying. It just wasn't cutting it. So I pulled it. So now that I have that out of here, hopefully the other 3 will thrive. So one really good thing about having your plants in containers like this is you can just turn it all the way around, so you can see like the back side. Because I was noticing that it just wasn't looking super healthy from like the back part of the plant. I don't know why. This one's kind of struggling a little bit as well. I've already tried to cut pieces to make it healthier, and it just really isn't thriving as well as the other ones. I don't know if it's the position of the sun or like how it's facing the sun or what, because even these back ones over here look kind of sad, and this one too. This front one looks really good. Maybe it's just that there was just too many in one pot together. I have no idea. So as you saw, I went through and I took off quite a bit of each tomato plant. So now they each have some clearance from the lowest branch to the dirt, and they each have all of their flowers plucked off. So I went through and I took off all the flowers that I saw to hopefully increase the root like the root strength and the actual growing of each tomato plant. And then I just gave it like a hand width kind of clearance from the soil to the lowest branch. So I did leave some suckers because I'm curious to see if the sucker will prove to be like stronger than the branch that it's trying to sucker from. So it's just kind of an experiment. I don't know if it'll work or if it's just gonna make that branch even sicker, but if the sucker, I don't know if suckers can produce fruit like off of the sucker. I think that they can. I think that's why a lot of people leave the suckers. I'm gonna have to look more into that. But I'm hoping that if the sucker proves to be stronger, that it will produce better fruit than potentially that sick branch that it's stemming from. So I don't know if my logic makes sense. It makes sense to me. I could be so wrong, but again, I'll never know if I'm right or wrong until I just give it a try. So that's where I'm pretty much at in my tomato journey and experimenting. I'm gonna go down to the tomatoes that I keep in my yard. Those ones are like strictly, they were like my experimental tomatoes. So I started those ones from seed. These ones I did not. These ones I bought in the store. But the ones that I keep in my, like down near my yard area, I actually started those from seed, and I thought that they were gonna die. But I put them in a container. I was like, the worst thing that they could do is die. And I watch Jess from Roots and Refuge, and she's kind of like my inspiration to create YouTube and just kind of journal document for myself, but like share with others. And one thing that she says is like the worst thing that can happen is that it'll die, it won't grow. So I was like, yeah, that's true actually. The worst thing that can happen is that it just doesn't work. So I wanted to see if it would work. So I put the tomatoes into those containers and they actually grew. I'll be darned, they grew. They did not die. They don't look crazy healthy, but they did not die. So that's where I'm at right now with those. But those ones actually have flowers, like blooming flowers, like they're yellow. These ones I don't know if mine are further along than these ones are or what, but I was letting them go, but I decided I'm actually gonna go cut them off, just because I'm hoping that to make those ones healthier. But these ones I sometimes will pull in my house, I'm trying to like baby them. The ones that I leave in my yard, I don't baby at all. I'm just interested to see how the elements out here in South Dakota impact growing and like the productivity. So this is like my one chance to see like what happens if you don't bring your plants inside, if it was actually in the ground, even though it's not in the ground. It's exposed to all the elements, all the winds that we get out here, all the hail that we get out here. Those plants were 100% exposed, and unfortunately so was my borage and so was my bergamot, but they're doing well, my borage and bergamot. My borage, I got so excited. I saw that it was finally starting to put off some flowers, and then we had a really bad storm last night that had like golf ball sized hail, and I don't know if the hail is what caused it or if it was the wind gust. This morning even, we had winds at clocked at like 40 miles per hour, which is insane. But one of the stems that had flowers snapped in half and broke. So I don't know if it's because I also for that did not expect all of the seeds to germinate. I put too many in one container. That seems to be a trend here. Something I'm learning from this year. I'm gonna take it to next year. But so they're kind of competing against each other in there. So one of the flowers that I had snapped off, but the other one so far is still thriving. I'm half tempted to try to put like a stick in there to keep it from being blown over, but I don't want to compromise it. Like, it needs to build its strength, I know. It's just disappointing to see it snap because of wind. Not even anything that you did. Like, you're not, like, granted I did put too many in one container, most definitely, but nothing like I did that is like killing it. It's stinking wind here. So I'll show you that here soon of my poor borage. I'm so excited for the flowers, and then disappointments of gardening. Nature has different thoughts about what's gonna happen for your plants, and it just snapped in half. So it is what it is. Hopefully that next one doesn't break. so maybe I can actually have some borage flowers this year. I was hoping, I don't know, I kind of want to make a tea. I don't know if I can, but I'm sure that you can because it's flower petals. But I'm interested in eating one because I've seen people that have eaten the flowers and they don't say that it's nasty. So I guess that I'll see if I don't know if I'll like it, but I guess I can give it a go. So this is my last remaining borage. As you can see, it still has the top to it right there is the hopefully future flower that this will produce for me. So it looks so pretty, and I'm hoping that with how much I cut it back, that it continues to grow big and strong. So this right here is damage from hail, and most of them, if they have any sort of damage to it at all, it's from hail. So it's looking really, really good, being as tall as it is and already kind of producing a little flower in there. So I'm super, super excited to see what this turns out as. I'm looking forward to it. And back here is the stone for the borage that I made. It's kind of looking really rough around the edges, rough for wear, but not like I'll forget what this is, but I thought it'd be fun to do. So this is my borage, guys. Doesn't it just look beautiful? So now I'm at the bottom tomatoes and the sun's super bright, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna cut off all of the blossoms that I see here. So here's that one that I'm pretty positive was cat-based. It's just humongous. I don't know if you can see, it's so bright. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this one was cat-based because it's just ginormous. I was really interested to see what would happen with this, but I'm just gonna go through and cut it off anyway. Maybe I'll get another one and I can see what will happen with that one. But for now, unfortunately, this one's gone for this year.
Young folks don't pay me no mind, but in my day, I sure was something.
So here you can see it has some clearance below each plant now. So each one has a good little bit of clearance. So hopefully no splashback. This one I cut back severely. No, I left quite a bit of suckers in there and cut off main stems because the suckers look better. Like those ones in there looked way healthier, even though like super sad than the actual main ones did. But I also have it anchored with some string because it was leaning heavily to one side and I'm trying to help it grow taller and get straighter. Granted, my whole cage is kind of crooked because of how we always place it each time we have to mow, but that's what I'm working with. I cut this one. This one I left this branch. I'm just kind of interested to see what happens. And then that one down there could probably use some more. This one down here, I probably could cut more, but I'm gonna wait till it grows taller. Each of them, I think I'm gonna wait till each of them grows a little bit taller before I come back through and cut again. So these are all of my beautiful tomato plants down here. They all look really rough, but this is what they look like. Looking pretty good. Here is my bee balm, or my bergamot. It's also doing pretty good so far. And this one's still kind of adjusting. I still have this wonky looking leaf, but it looks pretty good. These two are different varieties also than the four around them. So here's my mint. As you can see, it's been doing phenomenal. It absolutely looks amazing. Like, I'm so impressed with how this is looking right now. It smells delicious. It smells so good, and it's growing, it's thriving. I'm super impressed with how well this is doing. I honestly thought that after how much I had to cut these back from before with all the bugs from inside, that this thing was a goner, but it looks so good. So pretty. I'm hoping that it will continue to spread out and continue to go each way and just fill this thing back up all the way and just look super good. So here's a progress. I'll have to go back and try to find a picture of what it looked like right after. I may not have one, so I might not be able to insert one, but hopefully if I have anything to compare this to, I can show you, because this looks absolutely incredible. So beautiful. So I see that my camera is dying, but I did want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you. Bye guys.